of servant leaders together, inspiring each other one cup of coffee at a time. You are the tribe. You are the story. Can't wait to meet you. And it's official. We are live for the first time with Coffee with Kelly here on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube. And it's a first for this beautiful community. I see the comments coming in already. And I just want to say good morning. Happy Friday to our beautiful Coffee with Kelly community. And thank you so much for showing up. You know, I always miss being with all of you on Friday mornings, and wanted to try something different today and change it up a little bit. So if this is your very first time coming to Coffee with Kelly, we are going to go crazy in the chat today. So I always want to know, where's everybody coming in from? And I see Denise is coming in from Austin, Texas. Lona is coming in from Wellington. That's my hometown. So Lona, you are right around the corner. I see Miami. I see California. I see Philadelphia. I also see Miami again, New Jersey. So welcome, good morning. And I am your inspirational barista, Kelly Merbler. And I don't do this show alone, although you see just my face right now, all of you that are watching, just so you know, there is a beautiful worldwide community that comes together every Friday morning between 8 and 9 a.m. usually Eastern Standard Time. And this community is just a global servant community that started 3 years ago this month. And yesterday, I had the pleasure of really going back to the very beginning of how Coffee with Kelly started. And it all started pre-COVID, before we even knew what was going to happen, in a small coffee shop here in South Florida, with the intention of just bringing a small group of women for Women's Month together for a live mentoring session over a cup of coffee. And that's how this whole community started. And then, long story short, 2 weeks later, the world shut down, and Coffee with Kelly decided that we weren't going to wait for the world to change, that we needed to bring the joy and the love to the world. And if we needed to do that on Zoom, then that's what we were going to do. And so for those of you that have been with this community for the past 3 years, you know how valued and loved you are. And for those of you that this is your very first time, I want to take a moment to just say welcome and welcome home, because this community is one that is very special. And if you haven't been a part of it, hopefully you'll get a taste today and understand why it's so special. And so we have a couple of traditions here at Coffee with Kelly for the newbies watching and following here. And I just want to make sure, let me get you inducted into the Coffee with Kelly community. But we have a couple of traditions, and first and foremost, we love coffee, but we love you even if you don't. So this is what we call our official hug and a mug. And if you do have a hug and a mug, I want to see it in the chat. And cheers to you. Good morning. Coffee with Kelly has a set of core values that we operate under, and today's guest truly inspired me, because she showed me how she's living one of our core values. And let me share with you what our core values are. We love acronyms. We love coffee puns here at the coffee shop. And our core values are under the acronym of BREW, B-R-E-W, of course, anything to do with coffee. And the first value of Coffee with Kelly is be yourself. So be yourself. We want people that are authentic, that are real, that truly just want to be here because they want to serve others, and there's not a hidden agenda. They just show up as their true authentic self. The R stands for respect others. So we respect others. Everyone has a different perspective, and everybody comes from different experiences. And when we come together and we're willing to listen and hear different perspectives, it only makes us stronger. And we even respect you if you love decaf. So no judgment here. Number 3 is the E. We encourage growth and development, and that's what this community is all about. Every Friday, we do a leadership lesson, and everyone is involved, and we learn from all people all over the world how we can be better leaders in this life that we are given. And the W stands for we value everyone. And seriously, I mean everyone. Everyone brings value. Everyone has something to contribute. And that's what this community is all about, is that we truly love people. And no matter who you are, we want to know about you. We don't care what your job title is. We don't care how much money you make. We want people that truly are just coming here to be their true authentic selves, and everyone is welcome. So that's what we stand for. And one other thing I'm going to share with you before I bring our special guest in is we are very connected in this Coffee with Kelly global community. And if you didn't know this, if there's some job seekers right here, you know, there's a lot of job seekers that are part of this community, then we share a lot of open jobs throughout the network that we have within Coffee with Kelly. And if you didn't hear this before, we have through our network connected over 190 job seekers with job interviews and job offers where they are now working. And so I share that with you because there's a lot of job seekers out there, and we do have all of our community job postings in a central Slack channel. And there are so many different categories of jobs, from professional jobs, from human resources to nonprofit, to finance, to hospitality. And I want to make sure if someone on my team could kindly share that Slack link to let everyone know how they can too see and get connected with job openings that our community works so hard to make sure we share with everyone. And so our tradition that we also have every Friday is, those of you know, what's our tradition? Put it in the chat. Is we have a word of the day. We have a word of the day. And I usually will start with what that word is and what that leadership lesson is going to be around. But those of you that know me, when I have a guest, I want to empower them, and I want that guest to choose whatever the word of the day is based on their message and how they can inspire all of you to be the best version of yourself. And how did I meet Kate Spear, who is going to close out our Women Who Inspire series today and share a wonderful leadership lesson. I think as we're scrolling sometimes, we have to be open and looking for people that are out there just doing really different things and unique and getting out of what we call the people pile. And I was scrolling on LinkedIn last month, and there was a post that came up in my feed that was Kate's post. And I'd never connected with Kate. I never had known Kate. She's not in any of my leadership circles, but it made me pause. It made me stop. And I read her post, and she's going to share a little bit about what that post was all about. But I thought in my heart, this is a woman that inspired me. And what better time to reach out to her than Women's History Month and say, you really inspired me. I see you, I hear you, and I would love to give you an opportunity to use my platform to share your message, because I know your message is going to inspire so many other women, men, and everyone out there that's coming today or watching a replay. And so Kate is going to share the word of the day. And I want all of you to get excited and just cheer this young woman on, because she's just a beautiful soul. She's a mom, and she has just got a heart that wants to serve, and she truly fits the be yourself value that we live for, because Kate, she's just being herself. And so let's welcome Kate Spear to Coffee with Kelly. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Kelly. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness. It's a special day, Kate, obviously because you're here with us, but it's our first live stream, and I knew you would be the right person to help with this first live stream, because you've got a story. And I know there's so many people on here, Kate, not only job seekers, but just individuals out there, trying to figure out purpose in their next chapter, or trying to get to somewhere that they're trying to get to in their lives, whatever success is defined by them. And so I know your message can resonate with all of these individuals. And so, Kate, you have the honor of telling us what the word of the day is. And then I'm going to let you go ahead and start sharing what really got you here and how can you inspire this audience. So, Kate, what is the word of the day? And everyone get it in the chat. So let's see. Go ahead. Kate, what's our word of the day?
I feel like we need a drum roll on
that. I feel we do.
The word of the day is amazing.
Amazing. It's an amazing Friday. And amazing is such an amazing word because of your amazing story. So, Kate, go ahead. The stage is yours. Share what's on your heart, and I'll keep an eye on the chat as we go. And if I see any questions or things like that as we go, I'll try to put them up on the screen. But I already see that Rob has helped us, or Michael has helped us. Michael Willis put the word of the day up there for us. So thank you so much, Michael. And we appreciate you always. So go ahead, Kate.
Sure. Well, as Kelly said, my name's Kate. I'm so excited to be here again. Kelly, thank you again so much for having me. I'm so excited to meet all of you and kind of talk about my story. And, my theme has kind of become this open to amazing. And it really has kind of taken on a life of its own in a very big and exciting way. So we're going to take a step back and go back to the beginning because, again, talking about open to amazing, but that actually came from being open to work. And I am a marketer. I've worked in marketing for many years now. And I found myself about 2 months ago where I no longer had a job. And was going to be open to work. So like many people right now, I know that the job market is kind of tough, and I see already in the comments that people are sharing, if you have a job opportunity, that's an awesome place to share it. Also post in the comments if you're looking for a job, because that will kind of help me tailor what I'm going to be talking about here. So if you're not looking for a job right now, though, a few things. This open to amazing concept really, it's more than just a job. Okay. So you could be looking for a promotion. You could be looking for an award. You could be looking for speaking engagements. Maybe your goal is health and fitness or financial or something totally unrelated to your career. But this open to amazing concept and the mindset and the action that goes into that really applies to whatever goal that you're working on. Because really, who doesn't want an amazing life, okay? In any aspect of whatever that might be for you. So going back to kind of the beginning, yes, I see looking for a job. Husband's been looking for 8 months. It's a tough time out there to be looking for a job. So I feel like while most of what I talk about here is going to be positive and positive mindset, I feel like if you're looking for a job, allow yourself to have like that moment where you do, grieve that and be sad about it and live in that. But it's important to not stay there. So feel that and then get ready to move on. So, sometimes in life, it doesn't look like how we want it to or how we think it's going to. I taught Zumba a while back. And actually, I see Kat Brennan is in the comments. She was a Zumba instructor in Pittsburgh too. So, hey, Kat, but we would say in Zumba, and she'll know what I'm talking about here, that when things didn't go the way we wanted to, it wasn't a mistake. It was just, we called it an unexpected solo. So sometimes that happens in life and you kind of just have to go with it. So when things don't go your way or there's a surprise twist ending that you didn't see coming, it's not so much of okay, so that happened, but it's what are you going to do next? What's your move going to be next? And I was reading a book, I have it here actually, and it talks about, life can and will knock you down sometimes, but it's what do you do next? And instead of falling down, we've heard before, fall forward, but what almost about falling up, take it to a next level. So this is the book, This Happiness Advantage.
Ooh.
And it talks about the concept of failing forward, failing up. I don't even like the word failing, but it's just like, what are you going to do next from that? So when I found myself, okay, I'm going to be open to work. So how am I going to attack this? Like, what are we going to do next? So the first thing I kind of did really was, took that break. And I've been calling it like a purposeful pause. Oh, I love that people see Zumba as their passion. Me too.
I know. I love that purposeful pause though, Kate. Let's get that in the chat because I think that's powerful, a purposeful pause. So thank you for sharing that.
Of course, because I think, if you're like me, like my life was so wrapped up in my job and that was like my whole identity. And then it was like, now what? And I said in that first week, like when you get your picture taken and it's like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Like that's kind of how I felt in life. It's like, what do I do now? I don't know what to do. So I kind of made this bucket list for my purposeful pause. And it was all about, what do I want to do? Like I've been given a gift of some time off. How many times are we busy, busy, busy? It's like, let's look at that as a gift. So I made a list, places I want to travel, friends I want to see, books I want to read, things I wanted to do around my house that I didn't always have time to do. So that kind of gave me some things to do to fill that pause in a really mindful and nice way. Okay, so now I'm doing all these things, filling my cup, seeing people that I haven't seen in a while, traveling. And I'll share with you all before we get into the open to amazing thing. Actually, today, and I told Kelly I was going to share this with you all. Today, actually, when I leave here, I have one more call after this that I have to be on. And then I live outside of Pittsburgh. I wanted to do this since I was 19 years old. Me and a friend, we're driving across the country. Like I'm leaving today and I'm going to California and I fly home next week. So I've wanted to do that literally my whole life. So we're taking advantage of the time and we're going. So
that's awesome, Kate. That's awesome. It is that's purposeful because it's something that's always been on your heart and in your mind. And it's unfortunate that you're not working. I mean, that's not exactly a good thing for people out there that you want to work. But this is allowing you the time to do things that maybe you weren't able to do because you were working before.
Yes, absolutely. And I feel like there's always something, like when I was younger, I wouldn't have been able to like afford to do that. And now like when my kids were little and babies, I wouldn't have been able to just go and do that. And when I was working, I couldn't just stop for a week. So it's like, this might be the perfect time to take advantage of some of those things that I've always wanted to do. So, back to the open to amazing and my job search. So during this time too, it was like, okay, so what can I do? One, to stand out from the crowd, because as you know, if you're job searching right now, it's a hard market. There's a lot of job seekers. You'll see on LinkedIn, a job will go up and there will be like 280 applicants. And that's a little defeating, I feel like, for anybody to see. So it's like, how do you stand out from 280 people? But I think that there is definitely a way that you can do that. So me, when I worked and just in life in general, it's always kind of like, I like to give it my all. If I'm asked for A, B, and C, I'm going to give you A, B, and C, and probably D, E, F, the whole way through, things that you didn't even know that you wanted. So it was like, okay, so how can I put that into my job search and do something again so that my future employer might see that and know that that's how I work. Okay. Because we're all more than just that piece of paper, that resume. It's kind of like, who are you as a person? What's your work ethic? Like, what's your drive? How can you show that again, to stand out from those 280 people that are all vying for the same job as you? So I started and I put together a website for myself. And again, so I'm in marketing. So that makes sense. It's always like, if I can't market myself and show that I'm good, I don't know how good I would be at my job. So if you're not in marketing, that might look a little different for how you do it. But for me, I put together a website. It was www.katespearconnect.com if you want to go and take a peek. But it basically was kind of all about me. It's like a living resume, basically. It talks about my experience and what I've done. There's a video of me talking so people can see my face and hear my voice and just kind of learn a little bit more about me. It kind of brings that resume to life. So I would encourage you to make a video for yourself, even if that scares you. I'll be honest with you, this whole journey has scared me. I feel like putting yourself out there is scary. Doing things like this is scary, but it's just like everything you do that's scary. I feel like when you're on the other side of it, it's always like, wow, I'm so glad that I did that. It was so worth it. So the video is great. It kind of gets you out there. People can connect with you. It's not live. This is, but the video you would make would not be live. So you could, do it a few times, practice it. But I got new headshots done, which was really exciting too, just because I feel like that helps your confidence no matter where you are in your career journey, to kind of take a day and get your hair and makeup done if that's your thing, and get new pictures taken. And really, as I was doing that day and talking to the photographer and the girl that was there doing my makeup, it was exciting because it's like, we're getting ready for something. Don't know what that is yet, but we're getting ready for something exciting, something amazing. And it's all about just getting your mindset right, that is what you're prepping for, something amazing. The next chapter is going to be amazing. And I know for me, it's like, you might not even know what that is. I actually still really don't know. You don't know it's going to be around the bend, but it's just like, you have to put one foot in front of the other and have the belief that whatever is around that bend is worth it. So that was kind of the website. And I planned this whole marketing campaign kind of for myself on LinkedIn. So I started, and one of my early posts was talking about the website. Go check it out. I'm now open to work. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of people, if you're on LinkedIn, doing their open to work announcements. And again, I just wanted mine to be a little bit different. So again, coming from a marketing standpoint, we always say in marketing, you want to lead with the benefits to people and not necessarily the features. If you're marketing a product, you don't want to say the bullet points of what it has. It's what can it do for you? So I took that concept and applied that to my own marketing. I mean, I could say, and I did in my resume, it's all in there, this is where I went to school and this is the degree that I have. But I wanted to talk more about, the benefits to a future employer. So again, I've sat on both sides of this now. I've been the interviewer and now the interviewee, and I've been the hiring decision maker and now the one in the interview seat. So I kind of know what they're looking for. And it is really, what can you do for them if you're looking for a job? And for me, it was kind of again, I could talk about my degree or the things that I had, but it was more do you want happy employees? Do you want employees that are excited to work for you and for your company? Do you want employees that are connected and excited to be there, who are loyal and stay on board? Do you want positive, proactive communication? Do you want engaging social media? Do you want an exciting website that converts? So that's where you get people kind of hooked, and they're like, well, yeah, tell me more about that. Who doesn't want that? And then you can say, well, I can help you with that. We should talk. And that's kind of how some of my conversations have gone so far. So it's really about, standing out from the crowd, putting yourself out there, and really saying what you can do for the company, and not super cliche, but not what the company can do for you. I feel like we've all seen the posts that are just I need a job. I'll take any job. And, there's nothing wrong with that per se, if that's working for you. But I just feel again, if I was the hiring manager, I don't want to hire somebody that has just said they've applied to 300 jobs and they'll take anything that they can get. Even if that might be true, but try to spin it a little bit. You want a job that excites you and fires you up and makes you excited. And I feel I know that that's out there because I've had that before. So that's what I'm looking for again, a job that really excites you and that you want to be there. And again, not to sound cliche, because here's another one, but the whole if you love what you do, it's not really work. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. So my first post went up, shared my website, all of that. And kind of a takeaway on this too, if you are going to be using LinkedIn to network and talk about being open to work, consistency is key. And that's like a big marketing thing too. So if I had just posted that one time and stopped, because that post actually did do pretty well. It was seen by a lot of people. It got a lot of traction on it. If I had just stopped though at that, I would have missed out on so much. I would have missed out on connecting with Kelly. I would have missed out on being here today. So it's like, you got to keep that conversation going. You have to keep it consistent and keep it going. They say in marketing, you know, like you have to get your message in front of people about 7 times before it actually gets in there and clicks. So you have to keep it going. So my website post was week 1 that went up. And again, it did well, but it was the second week after that that I put up my post that was the Open to Amazing post. And again, it did so well. And not well. And I mean, like it was seen by a lot of people and it got a lot of engagement, but also in marketing, like if that doesn't actually do anything, then kind of what's that for? But I was able to open so many doors with that one post for job opportunities, future interviews, but also like some really other cool things that I wasn't looking for. When I started all of this, it was just kind of like, I'm just looking for my next career home. What I found instead, well, in addition to, I should say, is connection with incredible people. I've met more good people in the last 2 months than I probably have in any 2-month period ever in my entire life, just by putting myself out there, showing up, engaging with people, messaging them back when they message me after they saw my post. So it's just the connection piece. I'm blown away by just the amazing people that I've met in the last 2 months. So it's one of those things, and I keep saying, like, when you allow yourself to be open to amazing possibilities, there they are. Like, open yourself up to that, show up for that consistently, and then the amazing opportunities and amazing possibilities will show up for you too.
I love that. I love that. Let everybody hear that and let that sink in. If you say it again, Kate, if you show up.
Yes. If you open yourself up to amazing possibilities, show up for the amazing possibilities in a big way and consistently, the amazing possibilities will then show up for you.
That's so good. I hope all of you are letting that sink in and writing that down. But that right there, I think, is a golden nugget, because let's just use a job seeker as an example, or someone that may be inside their organization now that just feels they can do more, but they are just settling and just staying where they are, but they have this pull to want to go somewhere else. If we don't open our mind to being amazing and to those possibilities that can be, see, that's where it starts, Kate. You're right on it, because it has to come from our mindset, that if we don't envision what that can be for us and then be consistent in the pursuit of, going after whatever that is. And Kate, you putting yourself out there, and I hope all of you go to Kate's LinkedIn profile and look at the post. Where can they find that post, Kate? Because do you have it in your featured section, I think?
I do. It's right up front in my featured section on the post. So you can find me on LinkedIn. I think Kelly has me tagged quite a few places.
Yep.
Or if you go to my website, there's a button on there that you can find me on LinkedIn and see the posts.
Yeah, and I suggest all of you go and just look at that. That's the post that just came into my feed and got my attention. And she's right, because if you're not willing to just show up for yourself, just for yourself, that's so important, because I understand, and I know Kate does as well, that when you're in this transition of, when you've lost your job and you're trying to figure out how are you going to get that next position, it's scary. That's real. And allow that give yourself grace and feel it. Go through whatever emotions, whatever moments you need to go through. But then you got to pick yourself up at some point and you got to show up for yourself. And every one of you out there, I don't know how many people are watching this right now, but every one of you out there, you have something of value to bring and show and tell the world who you are. What Kate said in the beginning takes me back to our first Women Who Inspire conversation with Shelly Conley. And it's so true. So many times when we put ourselves out there and we go and we network and we go to community involvement events, the first thing we always say, Kate, and tell me if I'm wrong, what do you do? What do you do? Mm-hmm. And I love that Shelly just totally shifted our mindset on that a few weeks ago. And it's not what do you do? It's who are you? And so, Kate, that post that you put out there was such a good example and a testament. It's not about what you do. You know, everybody can read your resume. It's who you are. And you saw that, you know, those green banners, the green banners that everyone uses to say open to work. Work is more than just a job to you. And so share that, Kate, because how you saw the open to work in a different way and how you use that to tell us who you are, I think is absolutely amazing.
Yes. So the green open to work banner. And I feel like there's kind of mixed feelings out there about that. And again, there's no right or wrong way to do that. If you like the green banner and that works for you, keep it up. For me, it was something, again, how I said earlier today, that in marketing, like the words that we use are so very important. And to me, it was something about the word work. And it was like open to work. Like that just sounds like, you know, I'm a hard worker and I like to work, but what I'm open to is so much more than just work. So my open to work post that I made, the one that we keep talking about, I made my own green banner, and it is green with sparkles on it because why not? Sparkles make everything more fun and more exciting. And it says open to amazing possibilities. So yes, that includes career and it includes work, but that also counts for so much more. I mean, just the opportunities like this to be on here with Kelly this morning, talking to all of you wonderful people, open to amazing possibilities. So the green banner that I made, and actually you can download that on my website after I started getting a lot of people asking about it and saying that they liked it. I made it available for people to go there and download, and you can use it and make your own green sparkly banner, but that's there for you. But the open to work post, basically, and I printed it out. I'm not all about reading, but I do want to share a little bit about this with you. For me, work is so much more than just going through the motions and collecting a paycheck. It's never been my style and never will be. What I'm open to, and I say I'm open to igniting my passion through my work. I'm open to enthusiastic and energetically diving headfirst into projects that move the needle forward. I'm open to locking arms with people throughout ranks of any organization to make it rise together. I'm open to pushing the limits of what we can accomplish together. I'm open to aligning my purpose with the mission of the organization. I'm open to being coached, challenged, and mentored. I'm open to learning, growing, and developing. I'm open to teaching, developing, coaching, and mentoring others. And I am open to creating a positive and supportive environment that people want to be a part of. And I am open to making everybody that I interact with feel like a somebody. So that was kind of the essence of my post. And it's really what I feel like I'm all about. Again, we all have like those features on our resume, which are important. But if we go back to benefits, what can I bring to somebody? Who am I? How do I think about things? How do I relate to other people? What is like the energy and vibe that I will bring to my next career home? What does that look like? And I think I was able to capture that kind of in that post and tell people a little bit more about me. And again, it reached a lot of people. It did really well. It opened a lot of doors for me. But it wasn't necessarily the post that did that. It was like the mindset that I had first that did that. The post was just kind of like the vehicle to get that out there.
That's well said. That's well said right there. It's not the post that opened the door. It was truly, that's a part of it. That was a part of the process. But it has to start with you being open to what could be created by putting yourself out there. And Kate, I mean, you were vulnerable in that moment. And that is a scary place to be. And so what kind of went through your mind before you hit enter on that post? Like, were you like, oh my God, what am I doing? Or what were you thinking?
Yes, I feel like actually every time I post, I still kind of have that being totally transparent. I mean, because also I came from a marketing world, so I've done this. I've never really done this for me. I've marketed companies, I've marketed other people. I've never really showcased myself before. And yeah, it is scary. It is scary to put yourself out there. And I also think when you're open to work, there is like this element where there is like some shame with that. There shouldn't be, but I just feel like there's like this stigma that's kind of like, oh, well, you know, because your job is a big part of your identity. And like Kelly said, when you go to these networking events and people ask you, what do you do? Gosh, and that's happened to me in the last 2 months. It's kind of a weird, like, what do I do now? But it's like, how can you spin that? And how can you embrace that and boldly take the steps forward to put yourself out there? Because I believe that the amazing opportunities and amazing possibilities will find you, but you need to be where you can be found. Okay. So like if I had never put that post out there, if I had just kind of been like hiding somewhere, people would have never been able to find me. So, you know, I could want all these things, but unless I'm actually doing something about it and putting myself in a position where I can be found by that incredible opportunity, then it may never happen.
That's good. You've got to be where you can be found. That's so true. And you know, if it is whatever all of you out there are seeking next in your life, and Kate, that like you said in the beginning, it's so transferable to more than job seekers as well.
Yes.
This can apply to someone that is looking for a promotion. This can apply to someone that wants to start a business. This can apply. What other areas can this apply? Think about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so many. Like I said, I mean, I've found now opportunities like this in different speaking engagements and podcasts to be on. That was not what I was looking for, but how cool, you know, like I'm going to take that opportunity and run with it. That was a thing too. When I started this also, it was like, I'm going to say yes to kind of what shows up. I mean, that doesn't mean taking a job I don't want, but that means talking to people that want to talk to me. So even if they don't have a job that aligns with me, what great connections I've made and people that I've gotten to know from this. And just, you never know what that might look like in the future too. So even if somebody maybe doesn't have a job for me that's a good match today, maybe in 10 years they do, or maybe in 10 years I'm hiring somebody and I remember that conversation that we had. So I think it's just, you know, really showing up and putting yourself out there and, you know, networking, connecting with people and doing it boldly and actively. So I think the whole open to amazing concept, it's not necessarily like a noun or an adjective where you say I'm open to amazing. It's a verb. Like it's what you do. It's how you show up. It's how you put that into action, into practice, and really kind of live it out loud and be found by the amazing opportunities that are out there.
That's good. That is absolutely a very powerful statement. And I keep looking at the comments here, and Kate, I mean, I can't wait to go back and read all these comments. Y'all are doing such a good job with the chat. I don't know how many people are in here with us, Kate, but the comments are going nuts, and you're dropping some gold for so many of these individuals out there that are just trying to find what's next for them. And you can't find what's next unless you're willing to put yourself out there. And you've got to, Kate, I love this too, because this is what I'm taking away from this is it goes back to another conversation we had last week with Michelle Velke on our Women Who Inspire series. You got to ask for what you want too. And a lot of times we're afraid to ask for what that is. But you doing that post and you putting yourself out there, you asked for what you want, but you didn't just want work. You wanted a place that you can be your authentic self, where you can be amazing by giving what you do so well. If others, whether it's a hiring manager or a business, are open to amazing possibilities of you helping them in their business or in their organization as well. So there's two sides to that, and I see it from a job seeker and a personal perspective, but I'm going to speak to the hiring managers out there as well, because Kate, you and I have both been in the hiring world, and I spent 21 years in recruiting and working with job seekers to help them find their next opportunity. And Kate, you did it from a marketing perspective, hiring for your department in your organization. And I say this, and feel free, Kate, jump in here. It's not just for job seekers to hear. This is also for hiring managers to hear, because there are so many people that are amazing out there in this time right now that have been laid off, that are in transition or are looking for that next opportunity. And they do feel like a piece of paper and a number often. And so as a hiring manager, we have to be open to amazing people and open to people that bring something that is more than what it just says on their resume, right, Kate? Because if we are just letting an applicant tracking system and that determine who gets through for the interview or who gets a call, we potentially, and I know it happens, we miss out on amazing people like the Kates of the world out there that can do so much good for your organization and help you solve the problems you're trying to solve, if you're just open to the possibility of talking to people and allowing them a chance to show you how amazing they are. But so many people, I get goosebumps when I think about this, so I'm sorry if I'm on a soapbox right now, but I hear from these individuals all the time. And I know how wonderful they are and what they bring and the gifts that they have. But if we're not giving them a chance to have a conversation with the people in our organization, we are missing out on talent that truly could be that diamond that we've always been looking for. Kate, you want to add anything to that?
Yes, 100% agree with that. I know, like, from my perspective now too, it's just like, this is my career. And if you're looking, it's like, it's your career. So you don't want to be passive about that either, because I feel like that is what happens. You put your resume in with the 280 other people, and they might not even be read by a human. It's like being scanned somewhere. It's like sending it off to the abyss. I feel like you need to show up actively for that. So again, this is where like LinkedIn really helps too. I feel like if there's a job that you want and you put in your resume, see if you can find people that work there that maybe you can connect to or send that message to, or the video that I talked about earlier. If you send a video in a LinkedIn message to somebody, like your thumbnail will pop up. So like it will come with an image too. And again, in marketing, it's about creating that curiosity. So if you get a video in your inbox, you're going to watch it, right? Like, what is this video that showed up? So it's like, you know, I've used the analogy a lot in my job search of like, you're in a hallway and there's all these doors, okay? And you're trying to find what's your door, what's going to be the one that not only opens for you, but that you want to walk through. And sometimes to get those doors to open, like you have to knock. You have to do something to get them to open, because if you're just sitting in the hallway waiting for the perfect one to open for you, that might not happen. So it's kind of like find the door for yourself and kick it down if you have to, but show up actively, make sure you knock and say, hey, I'm here.
I love that. I love that. I'm knocking. And I want all of you out there to hear what Kate is saying, because it's so true. If we don't have the mindset that we're going to get a yes when we put ourselves out there, it doesn't mean we are. I understand where a lot of you are coming from. It doesn't mean you're going to get the yes, but if we don't go in with the intention that we are going to get the yes, we are closing doors that haven't even been closed for us because we're not going in with the intention that we are amazing. We are good. We bring value. We can do things that no one else can do the way that we do it. And so that's why we have to approach it as hard as it is. Kate, you know, it's not easy. We're not saying this is easy because it's not. I get that. But if we don't approach it with, we're going to get that yes, and be consistent, that's important what you shared as well, being consistent on knocking on that door. Because if you don't get in that door wasn't meant for you. It's not your door, but you got to go in the neighborhood and you got to keep knocking on the next door. And if you're not showing up and putting yourself out there, then no one will find you, like Kate said. And so these are all things, Kate, I'm soaking it all in. You're getting me fired up. This is what Coffee with Kelly does. We want to inspire people and just help people just have a place to go on a Friday or whenever we have Coffee with Kelly and have a place to have encouragement. You know, it doesn't cost anything. It's about showing up. And those of you that showed up today to hear Kate's message, I hope you got something from it. And Kate, what's an action item they can do?
Absolutely. So action item would be one, to decide what open to amazing looks like for you. So for all of us, it could be different. It could be a job. It could be a promotion, all the things that we've been talking about. It could be something not related career-wise at all. Decide what open to amazing looks like, and then commit to doing something about it. So I would say commit to doing something about it this week, but not just this week, then commit to doing something about it the next week and the week after and the week after that. So figuring out what that open to amazing is for you, and then just committing to showing up for it, because again, it's our lives, it's our future. It's too important not to.
Kate, I knew you'd be the right person to close out the Woman Who Inspires series. And I don't know about all of you, but March has just been such a powerful month of just empowerment within Coffee with Kelly because of all the amazing women that showed up to come share their story. And Kate, you just put a big red bow on the month of March for Women's History Month to help us just close this chapter of March and just leave Coffee with Kelly feeling like we matter, we're valued, we are amazing, and we all have something to give. And so, Kate, I'm just so grateful that you put that post out there, because if you didn't put that post out there, we wouldn't be here right now. And just think about it. There might just be one person that's listening, and that one person needed this more than anything. And Kate, if you never put that post out there, that one person would have never got what they needed on this episode of Coffee with Kelly. And so for all of you that have joined for the very first time, I want to invite you, I want to welcome you to the Coffee with Kelly community. This is how we do Fridays. We're usually in Zoom. And we'd love to have you at any future Coffee with Kellys. We have another one next Friday that's in Zoom. I put the website down there for anyone that ever wants to join us. And Kate, I'm going to give a little preview of what I did to put myself out there today as well, because a lot of people have been asking me when I'm going to do another closet confession. And Kate, you may not know about closet confessions, but I did those through COVID, and I haven't done one in a while. But there is one coming out this afternoon for all of you that want my next closet confession. So I don't know, Kate, what do you want to say to end this Coffee with Kelly? But I'm so grateful that you put that post out there.
Oh, well, thank you. And again, that's why you have to show up. I'm so grateful for you for reaching out to me. And again, just all the great people I've connected with. Thank you so much for allowing me to spend some time with all of you this morning. I certainly appreciate it. be sure to connect with me if you like, because you'll be able to kind of see how my story ends. And I will keep cheering everybody on that is also open to amazing. So feel free to reach out, connect, and we can all go out and be open to amazing.
That's right. So connect with Kate on LinkedIn and you'll see the post. I put the link in the chat a few times. And then also, if you want that Sparkle banner, if you're open to work, where can they find that, Kate?
They can find that either at my website, which is katespearconnect.com, and Spear, SPEER, or they can go to opentoamazing.com and it will take them right there.
Open to Amazing. So we leave this Coffee with Kelly episode asking you a question. Are you open to amazing? So everyone, coffee cheers. I'll see you next Friday. Kate, cheers to you.
Thank you.
So excited I met you. So we'll close it out. See you all next time. So for the past 2 years, Coffee with Kelly has been bringing a global community of servant leaders together, inspiring each other one cup of coffee at a time. You are the tribe. You are the story. Can't wait to meet you.